Armies will be shattered. Worlds will burn.
When StarCraft 2 was announced all the way back in 2007, we were all excited to finally be heading back to space trucker alien-infested space we call RTS Heaven. But later in the development of the game, Blizzard Entertainment decided it would split the campaign into 3 parts focusing on each of the factions. The Terran in Wings of Liberty, the Zerg in the Heart of the Swarm, and finally the Protoss in Legacy of the Void. I'm a massive fan of the Zerg, so it was disappointing having to wait even longer for this campaign. But after playing Wings of Liberty's campaign, I could wait a bit longer since that campaign was pretty amazing. With its release finally this week, I sat down and blasted through the Zerg campaign, and I decided I would give you an overview of it and my thoughts on what worked and what didn't. This review will contain minor spoilers, and I won't be highlighting the multiplayer here, unless I get a request from some of you to do so.
The test protocol will begin in 2 minutes.
Kerrigan, the Queen of Blades, is no more. She was rescued and de-zerged at the end of the Wings of Liberty campaign, but she has many enemies out in the universe of StarCraft after killing millions of people and crimes against humanity and, I guess, protacity? In particular, Arturus Minx, the leader of the human Dominion, who sees her as a constant threat after helping to turn her into the monster she became. After a failed attempt on her life, Kerrigan escapes and takes control of some Zerg to rebuild the swarm and get her revenge versus Minx. Where this leads Kerrigan is interesting, and there are some nice story arcs that happen in the campaign, but the overall story of the evil guy pulling the strings from behind the scene doesn't progress too much. For those looking for more on the hybrids and that, you won't find much here. This campaign is all about restoring Kerrigan's power and her revenge against Minx, which is getting quite tiring since we've had to hear this throughout the Brood Wars and the Wings of Liberty campaign. At least the characters you encounter are interesting, especially the humanized Zerg characters you interact with. The perspective of these Zergs are amazing and you've never seen it before. Missions, however, can pull you out of the immersion with gameplay mechanics. One particular mission I had a problem with was you come to an ice planet where there's constant flash freezes. These cause the enemy Protoss and yourself to be frozen to the spot. Later on, you discover these Protoss are colonists who live there. Why on earth are these super intelligent creatures living on a planet that freezes them every 3 to 4 minutes? I don't know. It makes no sense, and the structure of the mission is silly. If they had incorporated a way for you to destroy a generator that was providing them protection from these flash freezes, that would have made more sense. But, oh hum, I guess I'm nitpicking, and this is a game, of course.
Valerian. You left him behind!
Stand down! Let him go, Kerrigan. Valerian is helping us.
There is no us.
Just like in Wings of Liberty, your time in the game will be split into 2 parts: gameplay missions and operating your command center between missions to progress the story. In this case, you will be on the Zerg Leviathan, a living spacecraft. Here you will converse with Zerg characters you've encountered, evolving the Zerg and upgrading Kerrigan's abilities. When you arrive at the planet, you will complete a 3-mission story arc based on that planet, and you will discover new Zerg organisms to integrate into the swarm. You won't be able to travel between different planets during this time, like in Wings of Liberty. You will only have 2 planets to go to at any one time, and this kind of makes the story more linear. However, each mission is diverse on each planet, and so you'll never be doing the same thing twice. When you complete a mission, you will head down to the evolution pit where you can evolve your swarm more. For example, the Zerglings can choose between 3 abilities: movement speed increase, attack damage, or maximum health. You can change these between missions, unlike in Wings of Liberty where they were all permanent. There are, however, powerful permanent changes you can make to Zerglings as well, the further you are in the campaign. Zerglings could, for example, grow wings so they can jump up and down cliffs, or they could evolve so when you build them they spawn instantly and have 1 extra Zergling inside each egg. To help you choose these permanent choices, you will be provided with an evolution mission, so you can understand how each unique evolution works, unlike in Wings of Liberty, where you are only provided with a small video and a text box. The last thing you will do here is upgrade Kerrigan. Unlike in Wings of Liberty, you will control Kerrigan in nearly every mission. She can level up and gain new abilities which you will choose from a tech tree, and again these aren't permanent, so you can change these on the fly as well. By making these choices more flexible, you are able to create a swarm that suits your playstyle.
Must evacuate. This is Nova. Begin your sweep. Find Kerrigan.
Bravo team, acknowledge.
There are 20 story missions and 7 evolution missions within the whole campaign. Each story mission consists of new gameplay, so you'll never be doing the same thing twice. It will however generally boil down to destroying all enemy bases or defend a location for a set amount of time. The way they change it up is by having different events happen on the map, from ice storms freezing you and the enemy, gathering items before the enemy does, surviving wave encounters, and hero control missions focusing around destroying your enemy with a limited amount of units. The one fault I have with this game is that some of the missions are very similar to Wings of Liberty's missions, and the game difficulty has been scaled back as well. When you played Wings of Liberty for the first time on hard, it would destroy you. It isn't so here. I died once in the third mission because I got cocky, but then I refocused my gameplay style and I didn't die again throughout the rest of the campaign. The main reason I was playing on hard in the first place in Wings of Liberty was because Blizzard had introduced achievements into the game for the first time ever. Each had an achievement that could only be done by beating it on hard, and they got you doing crazy things that had nothing to do with the main mission. This however has been scaled back in Heart of the Swarm, and all achievements can be completed on normal difficulty. This is very disappointing, and the achievements can be completed by just doing the main story objectives. So for anyone who's after a challenge, I would recommend playing on hard on your first playthrough and brutal on your second.
What are you?
Abathur, evolve swarm, spin strands and sequences. Served Overmind, then served Queen of Blades, now serve you.
I am the Queen of Blades.
Different. Examining genetic strands, Queen of Blades was efficient, ancient Zerg qualities, minor Terran influence. You, infected with more Terran matter, grasper limb poorly designed, can improve. We'll give it back better.
Don't touch me.
Only focus is evolving the swarm. Seek perfection in all things. Work in evolution bit. Can review my work here.
Even though this game is 3 years old, Blizzard has been introducing new graphics and physics into the game. One example of this is when you blow things up, their remains go flying around the map realistically. The new worlds you will explore offer new environments into the game, so you'll be exploring new areas as well. The Zerg campaign also shows us a side of the Zerg we've never seen before. Up close realistic models of the Zerg army. It's glorious and quite disgusting to behold, and the detail is breathtaking. Voice acting is top notch with a great range of unique characters you'll encounter. This game contains one of the best new characters of 2013 as well, Abathur, the evolution master who creates new Zerg units. From the way he speaks and thinks, you will always go to see him first between missions. He reminds me of the way Morden Solis spoke from the Mass Effect series. CG is top notch as well, and the opening sequence will make you squee if you're a Zerg player. Even the in-game cutscenes are pretty damn good to behold. Musical score is amazing as well and accompanies each mission perfectly. However, there are a couple of issues with speeches getting caught in loops during the campaign, but this is a minor issue and it happens rarely. I've also just upgraded my PC, and with every setting on Ultra, your PC will start to struggle in heavy unit based missions where there are hundreds of Zerglings on the screen at the same time. My PC went down to 10 frames per second on one particular mission, but again, these issues only happen a couple of times during the whole campaign, and you don't mind because what's happening is just so badass. If you are really bothered about frames per second, drop some of your settings down to high. It won't affect your overall gameplay at all. I enjoyed the Zerg campaign. From what the story told and being able to just play the Zerg again was great fun, but overall, a weaker chapter compared to Wings of Liberty. The overall story doesn't progress, and from a lore perspective, some characters who were key during the Brew Wars aren't given the recognition they deserve, and pushes them to the side without explanation of who they were and what they did, especially one particular shapeshifter. With the difficulty scaled back for some unknown reason, you don't get the same enjoyment you did out of the previous Starcrafts as well. But like I said, this is worth experiencing once, and playing with the new Zerg units is a blast. When the Protoss Legacy of the Void campaign comes out, I can't wait to see someone create a multiplayer map with every unit from the past 3 campaigns in it. But anyone who's looking for story progress, you won't find it here. But for an RTS strategy game, you will not find anything better out on the market. If you've got Wings of Liberty, you owe it yourself to buy this, and for those who enjoy the multiplayer, you've got new units and mechanics to play around with as well. It also has over 3 years of custom games made by the community, including World of Starcraft based off World of Warcraft. There is so much to do after the game, you'll get your money's worth out of the Heart of the Swarm. So, come join us and build more Overlords. If you enjoyed this review, let me know in the comments below and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Fantas1984 or follow me on Twitter at Jamie Winstanley, all one word.